the modern man tutorials. All right, so being uh, reactive versus proactive, right? So the idea is when it comes to approaching females, I don't approach females. I let them approach me. It's better that way anyway. One, because they're the ones who should be simping for you, liking you, wanting you. It's better that way. Because a lot of the problems is when a female loses interest in you, or you approach her and for whatever reasons she's not interested. And sometimes it's not you, it's other factors sometimes, but a lot of times it can be you. So you rather she does the approaching. But here's the thing though, right? Obviously you don't want just any chick approaching, right? You want right now, today's leg day, so I'm gonna be using the leg machines. But anyway, you obviously want the females that you want, right, to approach you, right? But the thing is, you gotta understand is that step one is getting their attention, right? Letting them know that you exist, right? This works online as well as in real life, and I've mainly been doing this online mostly. So I will do stuff like follow them. Like for example, I use TikTok, so I will follow them. Will like some of their stuff. I try to be very specific on what I like, so that way on the notifications it pops up that I like certain stuff, and depending on what is it that I liked, and if they, notice what I like specifically, like what videos or posts or whatever, and that also applies for Instagram. Whatever I like specifically gives them the idea of like, okay, he liked this, he liked that, this, that, and the third, right? For example, if she posts thirst traps and that's all you like was her thirst traps and none of her other stuff, like let's say she makes funny videos or she makes videos where she, is cooking or something like that. I mean, if you like her cooking videos, hey, to each their own. At least she knows, you care about cooking. But what I'm saying is like if you're mainly liking some of the stuff that has her in it, where she looks her best or anything like that, she's going to notice. That's the thing. She's going to notice, and the whole idea is for you to get her attention. And that's if she notices, because if she gets a lot of likes and comments and stuff like that, she might not notice you. But the idea is for you to try to get noticed. And that's the thing. Sometimes it gets hard to get noticed when you're in a crowd, right? It's hard to stand out in a crowd, but it's not impossible. So then that's why, like I said, you want to get noticed. You want to do some things to try to get attention, but definitely no simping, definitely no shooting your shot and all that stuff. That comes later. That's after you already get the idea that, like, okay, she's vibing, right? She's returning the attention, right? I gave her some attention, she returned it, and now, I could start slowly building up. Especially with females nowadays, they tend to want to take their time. They want it to be slower. Back in the day, things used to be faster, right? That's why approaching back in the day was the most common way. You and a girl would get together. Was approach, hi, how you doing, and just less than 5 minutes, y'all can end up being boyfriend girlfriends. That's not the case nowadays. Now you may end up a week before it even gets to the idea of like potentially there's feelings and stuff like that. So feelings don't add up as quickly as they used to back in the day. Mainly because everybody was always looking for love, right? So whenever someone did approach, it's like, oh, okay, this might be the day. So then they were more open to, receive whatever, love, attention, whatever was coming their way. They were more open back in the day, right? More open-minded. Because they were looking for the one, right? But now no one cares about the one. They just care about the next one and the next one and the next one, that kind of nonsense. And then they dwell and complain about the last one. So that's how everybody's thinking now. So, like I said, pay attention to things you want. To make sure females see you, right? You can't be complaining that no girl wants to date you, blah blah blah, when you're hiding in your mom's basement. Like, get out there, shit. At least get it on social media and be positive. get some attention, right? A lot of you guys out here being assholes, being disrespectful, right? Complaining that, oh, y'all females out here, all y'all care about is money, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah. Not all of them do, but a large majority, yeah. So they can get some money. You'd be surprised. A guy who only has like $2,000 in the bank, for example, or who makes minimum wage, flipping burgers at McDonald's or something like that, can pull women, can pull baddies. You don't have to be a millionaire to pull chicks. The problem is that your personality is so shitty that you have to make up for it by being a millionaire, right? So that's why it's like, don't be shitty. But I'm not saying be a simp. I'm definitely not saying be an extremely good gentleman and all that stuff, right? Be chivalrous and stuff. I'm not saying that those are bad things per se. I'm just saying that it's not necessary, right? You don't need to go to the extreme good, just like you don't need to go to the extreme bad when you're dealing with females. A little good, a little bad. You got to understand that females operate on emotions. And because they operate on emotions, there's times where they want to be happy, but there's times they want to be sad because they don't want to be happy all the time. It's like the idea of constantly being high. If you're high all the time, it's hard to, live your life and focus because you're always high. So a female doesn't want to be happy all the time. There's times where she wants to be a little sad. This is why they create, arguments, dramas. That's why they like drama. That's why they like to be in other people's business, and hearing like, oh my God, oh no, he didn't. Oh, she did this and that. Oh shit, that wouldn't be me, blah, 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 because they want that up and downs, right? They want the ups and the downs. They don't want just happiness all the time. Even though they say they want to be happy all the time. No, if they did, it would be so simple and easy for them to be happy all the time if they only really wanted happiness. No, they want the drama, the issues, the bullshit. That's why they tend to, be with assholes, fuckboys, stuff like that. Because they want situations where, she tells him it would be nice if he, stop looking so good and getting all these females' attention. And he's like, well, it's not my problem. They like me. And then just keep it moving. And then she's like, oh no, I hate it. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, you want to hate it. That's the whole point. But you're with him because you found him attractive as well. So you're being a hypocrite complaining about other females finding him attractive when they find him attractive for the same reason you do. What's ironic, you being with him is what makes him even more attractive. That's the other thing that's important. If you're going to be like, obviously like dating or trying to get chicks in real life, be around other females, which is why it's important to be good at getting along with them. Even if you don't like certain females, right? It's like, I only like, these particular females. I don't like these other ones. Still be nice to the ones you don't like. I'll put it this way. Let's say you don't like plus size girls. That's fine, but still be nice to them. Give them compliments and whatnot. I'm not saying, completely lie to them and stuff like that, but I'm just saying don't be an asshole because they could literally be the reason you pull bitches, right? They could be the reason you literally pull 8, 9s, and 10s, right? Because you're nice to them. They're your referral, right? They're your what's that? Reference, right? They'll put in a good word for you with other females. So, gotta take that to account. Most females who are, of the larger size or maybe just unattractive, even if they're thin and they might be unattractive, whatever, they're going to have friends that, or at least they know people, right? Other females that might be more your type. So the thing is, be nice to every chick because that's your reputation. So if you're known among females, regardless of, if they're your type or not, as a nice guy, a good guy, a cool guy, a sweet guy, then that right there's your resume, right? That's your reputation. That's your clout right there among the female, female population. So don't be an asshole to females. Be nice. Like I do open doors for females left and right. And I've had plenty of times where females just open doors for me or buy me food and stuff like that, which, feels a little weird for me since I'm more of like, I open doors. I pay for dates and dinner and stuff like that. Like I'm traditional, I'm old school. But, modern day females, they want to buy me food. I'm not going to say no. Right? So I'll take what I get, I'll take it, right? Just like I'll take compliments. I'm not much for compliments or self-esteem things. I'm not part of this generation where y'all need positive reinforcement to be happy with yourself. The whole self-love bullshit. I'm fine just myself. I know who I am. I know my value. So, like I said, when it comes to females, be nice to them. Online, offline, right? IRL, be nice, because it can get you what you want later in life, right? Don't burn bridges, as it were. Don't make enemies, right? The other thing is, it's also not just that it helps you get stuff, it just prevents bad things from happening, right? It'll prevent them from cock blocking. You don't want to be an asshole to the, I'll use plus size as an example. You don't want to be an asshole to the plus size girl when she's friends with the thinner girl that you like, because she's more likely going to cock block. So you just cock block yourself by being an asshole to the big girl, and now she's not going to let you anywhere near her skinny friend, right? The skinny girl. All right, so that's why it's important to be nice. I've had a scenario where I did do the approach thing, but it wasn't approaching. It was more just like I'm walking up and I'm just, talking and just letting the chick that I want know that I exist by just, walking up and saying hi and whatnot. But it wasn't with the intent of pulling her or anything. I was just making myself known, right? Make myself available, accessible, reachable, touchable, talkable, whatever, right? I just made myself available. That's the whole point. Made myself available. Immediately there was a bigger chick that was literally just blatantly like, nah, don't talk to her, don't flirt with her. She's not interested, all this extra stuff. Even though the chick didn't say none of that stuff. I wasn't trying to pull her or anything like that. I wasn't trying to flirt with her. She was new. She was a new student to the class at the time. So it's like I was just introducing myself. I'm just, hi, welcome to the class type stuff. So it was just basic introduction. But the other chick just felt some type of way, obviously, right? And it's because she liked me. So immediately she was cock blocking. But with my niceness, me talking to her, me throwing some compliments. I know she likes Harry Potter. I'm talking about the plus size chick, and I like Harry Potter too. So, I threw some Harry Potter references and stuff like that, made her laugh, made the other girl laugh. And then I ended up, so I'm talking with both of them. So I'm talking to two chicks at the same time. But of course, we all know my goal, my target, right, is the other chick, which, yes, she ended up being my girlfriend, like 3 weeks later. But, the whole idea was just an introduction, just to say hi, just to talk, just so she knows that I exist and that I'm approachable. Like if she ever wants to say hi to me in the cafeteria or something or in class, she can. And this was definitely a long time ago. I haven't been in school in decades. So, but that was the point. It's like I just made myself available. Even if she didn't like me, was rejecting me, was trying to be mean to me, it's irrelevant. I just made myself present. Like she knows I exist, right? And then walk away. Because most guys are invisible to females. Most guys are not being noticed. So that's the thing. Since you're not being noticed, it's because you're not making yourself noticeable. And you also want to be interesting. So don't be like, oh, look at me, notice me, like an asshole, trying to get attention. And you're going to get attention, all right, but it's going to be negative. You want more positive attention, right? You want them to notice that you're doing something cool. That's why lifting weights or being involved in an activity, preferably physical activity like sports and whatnot, does get your attention. And you got to understand, I'm a big guy. So this whole idea like, oh, you got to be muscular, fit, and blah, 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 money, this, there, 6 feet, blah, 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 all that stuff. I'm almost 6 feet, but I'm 5'11", by the way. So I'm not 6 feet, but still, I will still be considered short, right? Because I'm not 6 feet, but I'm close. But the point is like, regardless of that, is like I still pull women, right? I still pull the ladies because of who I am and my understanding and my experience interacting with them. Understanding that, yeah, they'll say no now, but it always turns into a yes later, right? A lot of my experiences, they act like they're not interested in me now, but later tell me they have crushes on me. Like, oh, okay, so you did like me, you just said you didn't at that one time. Okay, that can happen. So that's why you gotta understand that even if she says no, but no does mean no, but I'm just saying, even if she says no, that's just for now. Later, weeks from now, months from now, even a year from now, she can say yes to you. But you gotta be worth saying yes to. And the problem is that most of you guys aren't worth saying yes to because, again, first and foremost, y'all personality tends to be shitty. And it doesn't help that most of you guys be on the internet bitching and complaining about how females are, when you should be focusing on the types of females you want, the type of personality traits you want, and then talk about that. Just talk about what you like, right? Don't be like, oh, I don't like fat chicks. I only like skinny chicks. No. Just say you like skinny chicks, right? If that's your thing. You like chicks who go to the gym, right? Say the thing is females like positive things, obviously, right? So just only talk about positive things. Give compliments, not about their looks, but compliments of whatever's going on around them. They want positive reinforcement, right? They want you to point out that, like, hey, your art's good, or your hairstyle is pretty cool. Never seen a hairstyle like that. Shit like that. Like, say stuff that most other guys wouldn't be saying, right? Most guys will be talking about how she looks. We'll be talking about her genetics and stuff like that, right? That she looks good and she's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. She's perfect, queen, all that nonsense, which she already hears a million times a day. So don't be that guy who does the same thing every other guy does. You want to stand out. You want to be the exception. You want to be unique. You want to be special. You want her to feel special. And what will make her feel special is if you notice, how cool her shoes are. Like, oh, those are some cool sneakers you got there. Ask her, like, so how much do they cost? You get them on sale, you pay full price, shit like that. Like, think about that. That doesn't sound like a typical thing to ask a total stranger you met for the first time, like, about their shoes and whatnot. But that would be what she'll remember you for. Remember that you're the guy who asked her about her shoes. I had a scenario where there was this chick one time. It's like, oh, you graduate? Oh, that's awesome. Congrats, right? And I was just there talking, and asked her about her future, right? Like what she plans to do, what she's gonna do with her life, and this, that, and third. And that's the day. I was just like being very positive. Way to put it is, I pretty much talked to her the way I would talk to my daughter. Not some chick I'm trying to fuck. I would talk to her like she was my daughter, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, what kind of, what school are you going to? This, that, that. You graduate high school, so, what college you're going to? Do you get a scholarship? You're going to do loans, this and that. Like, I'm trying to, give her some advice. I'm like, I actually care what she's going to do after, she's done high school, right? It's like, okay, what your future plans are? What you're gonna do? You're gonna join the military, this, that, and third, like, that kind of stuff. So, like, I'm talking to her like a human being that cares about her future, right? So it turns out that later on, at that time, she was talking to her mother, and she was, and her, because her mother told me, the conversations we're having, and how, she thought it was so cool and mature, and unlike all the other guys who always, complimenting her and trying to hit on her and this, that, and third, and how different I was, and how I, was actually legitimately interested in who she is as a person, not her body, blah, blah. And she was a hottie, don't get me wrong. And this, that, and third, right? Her mom definitely, even to this day, she'll still want me, like, marry her or something. Like, she'll still try to shit me. If her daughter's not already married, because her daughter is a good catch, so she should. But if not, I know her mother would still want to shit me. But they, it was interesting. They had a conversation. Her daughter and her niece in the dinner table area, in the kitchen area. There was a table there. And I walked in, and for some reason, they all started talking about me having a 10-inch dick. And it's like, okay, I don't know why suddenly that's a conversation. And I was like, well, it's definitely not 10 inches. And they didn't believe me. It's like, well, y'all believe whatever y'all want, but I'm not going to prove y'all wrong. Keep thinking whatever y'all want to think. But it was an interesting conversation. It's like, okay, time for me to walk away. You know, girls, right? Anyway, so that kind of stuff. So, like I said, it's like just being a decent human being goes a long way, even to the point where you literally walk into a conversation where they talk about your penis size. Like, okay, that's unexpected, but that's the kind of shit that happens to me, right? That's my life. Like I said, I'm not, 6 feet, six figures, six pack, blah, 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 all that stuff. I mean, I'm close to six figures, but that's besides the point. I'm almost 6 feet, and, I am working out. Clearly, today's leg day. But the thing is that you don't have to be all these things to get along with the opposite sex. You just got to get better at interacting with opposite sex. Who you are as a person should matter. The whole exercise and money and doing something in your life, bettering yourself, that's just for you to be a better human being, period. That way, when a female does see you, talk to you, interact with you, even if she's like, you know what, I don't find you attractive. Oh, okay, that's cool, not a problem. You like what you like, that's fine. And, you make a joke and she laughs and one thing leads to another. Like I said, feelings matter. So once you start making her feel some type of way, that overrides, her quote unquote logic, right? Her be like, yeah, you're not cute, but you make me laugh. And I like spending time with you and this, that, and third. It's like, all right, cool. I like spending time with you too. Then y'all spend more time. One thing leads to another. It's like, oh, damn, we're having sex. When did that happen? You don't know, right? Until it happens, right? Because you're being a decent human being, one thing tends to lead to another. There's numerous times where, like I think about it now, but at the time I didn't think about it because it was like kind of normal for me. But thinking about it now, like, man, the number of times I've been alone with females, like in their mom's house or something like that, alone. And some of the conversations were leaning towards the sexual conversations, right? And it's like, to me, that was just like normal, it was typical normal conversation that females will bring up sex in conversation. That's normal for me. For most of you guys, it's probably not. But for me, if it was, when at some point they'll mention something about kissing. Have you ever kissed a girl before? Blah, blah, that kind of stuff. And it just devolves into like, sexual positions and stuff like that. It's like, too much information, right? But that's just how it is. And it's like, okay. When I think about it now, it's like, yeah, they really liked me, and they definitely was trying to put the idea of sex in my mind. But since sex is not number one on my mind, top priority, just, hanging out, talking to them, interacting with them is enough for me. Mostly, sex is like secondary. That it just works for me. It works for me that I'm not chasing booty, right? Because the booty, why? When the booty's chasing me, right? That's the funny thing, right? So that's the whole point. Don't chase women, right? Females. They're supposed to chase you, right? That's what makes you a highly skilled hunter, when you're not chasing the prey, when the prey is chasing you, when the prey wants to be caught, when the fish are jumping out the water into your boat so you can take them home. That's what you want. That's the position you want to be. That's how you know you're alpha and stuff like that, when the ladies are coming for you, chasing you, fighting each other for you. Shit, I literally was in a situation, and this was like middle school and stuff like that. I was in a classroom by myself, not all by myself. Clearly, there was like 7 other chicks there. And I ended up in a situation where they were literally trying to take my clothes off. Good thing my boys came through and then interrupted the situation. But yeah, that's one of the many, many stories I've had when it comes to me and the opposite sex. So, like I said, personality, man, top priority. Fix your mind right, then fix your body, your finance, and your life in general. Because once you fix your mind, everything in life is a reflection of that. Because if all you do is play video games and masturbate and this, that, and that, well, that's your life. If your mindset is just online, just porn and games, then that's the kind of life you're going to have. Can't expect different results. Can't expect to be rich and have hot chicks and have sex all the time if your mindset is just video games and porn. Like, video games and porn should be what you do after, all the money making and all the sex with multiple, or just sex in general with same female, multiple females, whatever, however way you roll. should just be something that you do once in a while because, like, oh, my girlfriend's not here. I'm horny. Let me watch porn. It shouldn't be an everyday event where, like, everyday porn. It's like, well, that's why you're not pulling no, I'll say it, no hoes. You're not pulling no bitches because you're too busy spending more time, trying to find the best porn to jerk off to instead of finding out the best way to speak to females, right? To speak to women, to get, so that way if it, leads to sex, it leads to sex. If that's your ultimate goal, to each their own, right? Same thing as when it comes to making money. You wanna make a lot of money, you gotta put the time and effort to learn how to get that money. Money is millions of dollars is not just gonna fall in your lap. A hot chick is not just gonna fall in your lap. I mean, for me that happens, but that's for a different. But that's because I got that personality where, yeah, the possibility of a chick falling on my lap is pretty high. The percentage of that, right? Because I make myself available, so shit like that does happen. Yeah, I was in a scenario where I was going up the steps. There was a female in front of me. She slipped and fell, and I caught her like a hero, right? So, she's definitely not gonna forget that. And I've had scenarios where females walked up to me and tell me like, "Oh yeah, man, I had a crush on you in middle school or first grade or some shit like that." Like, damn, you remember me from that long ago? Like, I still look familiar. And here's the thing, unfortunately, I don't remember these females, these chicks. I'm like, sorry, I don't remember you. Clearly because we didn't date. You liked me, but I didn't know you existed because, you never said anything. So now, 20 plus years later, now you want to tell me that you had a crush on me. Like, oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it. At least now I know. But it would have been better if you told me back then because we could have dated, you know what I mean? So it's, regret, their loss, that kind of stuff. So it's like further proving that, yeah, females tend to regret things, It's like, yeah, I should have said something. Like, yeah, definitely should have because I'm not an asshole, if you're interested in me, I typically that's the thing, is when a female's interested in me, I give her a shot. Even if she's not my type per se, I still give her a shot. Because you never know, right? You never know what because to me, personality is very important. Most females are pretty much the same, like biologically, obviously, among other things. I do have my preference. I prefer Asian chicks mostly, but I've dated a lot of Black, Hispanic chicks. So that's why it's a good idea that if you like me, shoot your shot. You're more likely gonna get. You're not gonna miss, right? But at the same time, I do have standards and stuff like that. So, I'll give you the interview, as it were, right? I'll let you shoot your shot, let you, go, do the trial run, see if we're a good fit, and go from there. But that's the thing, guys. You guys got to get better at talking to females, vetting them. When you talk to them, it has to be kind of like a job interview. Like you're trying to hire them, so you want them to qualify for you, right? Stop being assholes. Well, I gotta stop talking and start my workout, and that's the end of the video.